Hey everyone, I am Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. We are in our final days of 100 Days of Purpose, and so I just kind of want us to reflect on what has already been said because I've said a whole lot. We've had some actual coaching moments, we've had some suggestive moments, we've had some moments of clarity. Um, and so today I just kind of want to revisit again the part that I talked about earlier on in the 100 days of purpose about being intentional and being strategic in all that you do and being a person of your word, right? If you say you're going to do something, mean what you say and say what you mean. And don't be afraid to say, hey, look, I blew it. I thought this was going to take place. It did not take place. I blew it. I overshot, Um, Going through my training for real estate, they talk a lot about honesty. They talk a lot about integrity. They talk a lot about transparency. And it's just reminding me that people want to connect with people that have the understanding of empathy and sympathy, right? They want to connect with people that they feel truly care about them. And we've all heard the saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? And I think that many times we want to display our knowledge and our wisdom, but we don't do it in a spirit of love. We don't do it in a spirit of concern. We don't do it in a way that people can gravitate to us. We actually repel them from us. And so when we are thinking about being strategic and intentional, you know, we got to keep that in mind, because what comes to my mind right now, just popped in my head right now, is we like to say, I like to keep it 100, right? And so that means I'm going to say what I need to say, when I need to say, how I need to say it. And I'm not going, sugarcoat it. I'm not going to do this. And I understand that mindset to a certain degree. I used to have that mindset. I would say, because it's the truth, right? And truth hurts. And I would tell them, and the truth hurts. That's what you get when you come to Linda. You're gonna get the truth. And the truth might not be what you like. But how the truth is delivered displays how you care for someone. And avoidance isn't care. You're not caring for someone's feelings when you're avoiding telling them the truth. If your truth is no, then you've got to find a way to say that no, that you're not belittling the person that you are saying no to, but it doesn't come off as a rejection, a dejection, or a denial, right? You need to learn how to show grace. But don't avoid saying no. Don't avoid saying no. Because I find that even when I'm in a situation where the answer is no, part of me already knows that it's no, right? And yeah, my feelings might get hurt because I really wanted that to be a affirmative answer and not a no, a negative answer. But And so I might get in my feelings. I might feel a certain kind of way, but at the end of the day, I'm going to appreciate that you didn't string me along, that you didn't make me second guess myself. You didn't have me thinking one way when you were operating a different way. You were true to who you were, and I have to appreciate that. But we have to have those conversations. But how you have those conversations shows your integrity, shows your character, shows your level of concern for other people. Not avoiding it, not just coming out and saying it and being harsh with it. Some things it may have to be said harshly, especially if the person's attitude or character or personality is one to undermine, right? Or to demean. So you may have to get in the face and say, look, I tried to say it this way and you didn't understand. So now let me say it this way so you can be clear. I understand that. That's why I said to a certain extent, I understand being 100. I understand saying what you need to say. But not every situation is that. And so you got to know how to nurture. You got to know how to care for the other person because we all walk in the same spaces, right? We all walk in the same spaces. And because we walk in the same spaces, we have to interact with one another. And I am learning that life is too short to be trying to avoid tens of thousands of people. It's just there's not that much space in the world. Y'all remember the Disney song, It's a Small World After All? It is, and it seems like the more, I'm just going to use an old school word, it's still around there. People still say it every once in a while. But the more beef you have with somebody else, right? The more problem you have with somebody else, the more arguments or the more tussles you have with somebody else, it seems like they are everywhere all of a sudden, right? They're you go to, you're on your way to work and you see them, walking down the street. You go to church and they happen to visit your church that week, or you go to the grocery store and there they are. It's like it's a small world. And so it's hard to avoid people that you don't like. It's hard to avoid people that you are having an issue with because we all walk in the same spaces. We all walk in the same spaces. I was watching a movie and this girl moved thousands of miles away, right? I can't remember the movie I was watching, but she moved thousands of miles away to go and to get away from this one individual, right? And so she moves thousands of miles away. And she's living her life and doing what she does, and she's thriving and all of that wonderful stuff. And one day she thinks she sees this person. And she says it couldn't be that person because that person is thousands of miles away. Turns out, unbeknownst to her, that person had moved to the same city. The person didn't know she was there. She didn't know that person was there. But there they were in the same city. And as small as the world is, they run into each other. So you can try to avoid people all you want, but it's a small world. It's a small world. And eventually you're going to have to deal with that individual. You're going to have to deal with that situation. You're going to have to deal with that circumstance that you are trying to avoid. So be strategic, be intentional about what you say and what you do. Show concern for one another, show care for one another, show some understanding for one another, be empathetic with one another, be sympathetic with one another. Have the tough conversations that need to be had. Have the great conversations that need to be had. One time I was, it was a dating situation, but anyway, I wanted to have this conversation with this individual. And so, I was like, hey, we need to talk. And he said, yeah, we do. And all of a sudden, me being a girl, I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? I just wanted to, say, hey, let's have a conversation. It sounded like he wanted to do more than have a conversation. And so, a few days passed or whatever, and we finally had the conversation, and it was just kind of a, hey, how you doing? We hadn't talked for a while, and I missed our conversations. We have very good conversations, and I missed it. And I was like, in my head, I was thinking, okay, he's going to tell me, this isn't working, blah, blah, blah. I had worked out the whole breakup, right? And it wasn't even a breakup because we weren't even in a relationship. But that's how us girls do. I'm giving y'all guys, giving y'all some behind the scenes extra news. Some of y'all might know it, but some of y'all might not. And so, I had the conversation, and I was ready, I was ready to hear it, or so I thought I was ready to hear it. And that's not even the conversation that he wanted to have. Then there's been times when you get those words, we need to talk. And it is that conversation, right? It is that, this isn't working and we should go our separate ways. And, the relationship needs to take a change or needs to stop altogether. But you got to have those conversations. You can't run away from them. Because a person that is operating on purpose knows that time is of the essence. Timing is everything. And you can't know what you don't know. And you can't figure out what somebody else is thinking unless they tell you. Last time I checked, none of us can read minds. We might have some inkling, some know the person well enough to guess, but we can't read their mind. We can't. So be strategic, be intentional, be a person of your word. Say what you mean what you say, and say it in a timely manner with care and concern for the other people. Don't just say something and definitely don't do it in anger. When we get upset or even emotional, right? And this is male and female. We get emotional. We'll say some stuff and later on we'll even regret it. We're like, I can't believe I let that come out of my mouth. Oh, well, it's out there now. I can't take it back. Let's be intentional about what we say. Let's be intentional about what we need to do with individuals. Because remember, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, she's having a personal conversation and that's kind of distracting. Anyway, where was I? What was I saying? Be intentional with your words. Say what you mean what you say it with care and concern. Do not allow yourself to fall into the trap of I'm not going to say this because I'm sparing the other person's feelings, because I think I know how they're going to take it and it's not going to be accepted well. You know, if you say it well, they'll accept it well. And like I said, sometimes you say things and people get in their feelings about it. And they get in their feelings about it. And you get to say what you need to say, have that conversation. And if you say it with concern and care, either that person is going to sit in their emotions and deal with it and see where you were coming from and agree, or they're going to sit in their emotions and deal with it and not see where you were coming from and disagree. But that's okay. The thing don't want to be said about you, the thing that I don't want to be said about me, is that you were an uncaring person. You were an unkind person. You don't want that said about you. Because as quiet as it's kept, we don't talk about it a whole lot. What comes around goes around. What goes around comes around. And karma, reciprocity, all of that is real. And so if you want good to come to you, you got to deal out the good. And you got to deal it out with integrity, with honesty, with transparency. And you've got to say, I did the best for that person and myself. Because that's what people of purpose do. Be strategic, be intentional. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. I believe we're on day number 97. Let me check. I'm so excited. Yeah, day number 97. So we got 3 more days to go, y'all. 3 more days to go. And like I said, these are going to be days of reflection, of me kind of going back over and leaving you with the most important parts of this 100-day, because we've done a lot and they're here. You can watch them on the replay on Facebook, on YouTube. You can go back, and I believe even the old ones I did a couple of years ago, I think this is like my 3rd or 4th time doing this. So all of those videos are there. You can type in hashtag on 100 Days of Purpose and you'll probably get some from 3 years ago. But watch it, let it feed you, let it show you, be a mirror to you, to show you how to develop yourself into the person that you were created and designed to be. And if you need help, which, we all need help every once in a while. We all need somebody to come alongside of us and say, hey, look, I know how to get out of this pit. I'm in there with you. We're going to make it through. If you need help, reach out. Say, hey, look, Linda, I want to, do some of your online courses and really work on me so I can be the best version of me and let my light shine in the world that is assigned to me. And I guarantee you, the change is real. The transformation is real. And if you do it right, you don't revert back. Can a butterfly revert back to being a caterpillar? It can't. That transformation is permanent. And that's if you do the work, if you work the plan will work. And you will see permanent change and elevation in your life. So only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. I dare you to be exactly who you were created and designed to be, and watch the world adjust. Sorry, I thought I hit my little end button and that wasn't it. Here we go. Here we go. This is the end for real now.